Welcome back. You're still with Sport on Prime Time. Now joining me to discuss this issue of banning South African federations from competing in or hosting mega international events is our SABC sports reporter Velile Mbuli. He attended the afternoon sessions of the Eminent Persons Group on Transformation in Sport. Velile, welcome to the show. It's been a bombshell this morning. Any new developments coming out of the afternoon sessions?
Well, Simon, it was surprising, we have to say, more especially for the four federations, which were part of the pilot project. As you know, football was one of those five sporting codes, but only before have been find themselves on the other side. So we spoke to Athletics South Africa. I think for Athletics South Africa, the major point was whether they will be able to continue hosting the African Championships, which will be held, or which are supposed to be held in Durban in June. Here now they could be moving to Pretoria. But the clarity, when we went to interview them, at least things were better because we had already spoken to SABC, and SABC was saying all the existing agreements, that would mean that the African champs, that would mean that the Sevens Rugby that is usually held in Cape Town, understand also with the Rugby Championships, and understand that even Netball as well has got a scheduled international event that they'll be hosting. So all those events will continue. So it looks like it's going to be the 2023 Rugby World Cup bid that will be affected. As we know, that is the bidding process in terms of opening starting next week, and that will go until next year. When the team, in fact, when the country that is going to host the 2023 World Cup is going to be announced. So we also spoke to SA Rugby as well, and they did say that they were shocked by today's decision. They totally didn't expect it, but they understand what is at stake, and they understand where the shortcomings for them. Because people sometimes they think that this is just about player representation on the field of play, but it's not about that. It's not only about the well, it's part of it, but remember the EPG people here, they are looking at player representation, they are looking at the coaches, and they are looking at the officials that will be referees and umpires, and then they are looking also at administration level in terms of the administrators across the different races, your Black African, your Indian, your colored, and also your white.
Right, Velile, on this point of federations being banned, it sounds like there might be a little bit of wiggle room, especially in rugby's case. They seem to think if they could get the minister's ear and talk to him for a little bit, they might still be able to squeeze in that bid for 2023. Did you get the impression that there is a case for these guys to talk further and try and get the minister to understand where they're coming from?
Yeah, we spoke to SA Rugby, even though they were just limited to the statement they released, and even in terms of the content, what they can give us was only what they had on their statement. But talking to SABC and also some few officials in the department, and maybe to the minister himself, you get the impression that it's going to be difficult for them now to try and find a way of listening to federations. And as we know that when they talk about a major and mega international events, they are talking about events like the Rugby World Cup. So in the ears and eyes of the public, the Department of Sports and Recreation, including the whole committee of the EPG and SABC, they have to be seen as walking the talk that they have just started. So those are some of the things that they have to start doing. So I seriously doubt that there can be another way, unless, because the minister did touch on this. He said, in the year under review, which is the 2016-2017, and then when they consider or on the performances of SARU on all these other projects that I've just mentioned, if things change, then it will be better. But the challenge, I think I should say, is also about the timelines now in terms of when to submit the bid. Because I understand where you're coming from, Simon, because the minister was there. When there was a briefing session in London, of the Rugby 2023 World Cup bid. He was there. He was there with Saru. So I understand where you come from, and you could tell that this is a hot potato as well for Saru themselves, because even though the CEO was there, Yuriru, and also the Deputy President Mark Alexander was there, it took them a while before they could agree to comment. And if you look at cricket, you look at netball, and you look at athletics as well, and then you compare with rugby, this more is hitting rugby because of this Rugby World Cup bid. That is just opening next week, and surely you'll find that now some of those countries that are competing with South Africa for that particular World Cup will also use things like this.
Velile Mbuli, that's where we're going to have to leave it. Thank you very much for your insights and letting us know what happened further on in the day. It certainly was a bombshell that was dropped today.